It's lunchtime. It's time to eat. Uh, let's see if it's working. Don't look like it's working. Oh, yes, it is. Everybody come in, put a one in the chat. I had to hook up the equipment, so I'm making sure everything is working right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Don't put nothing in the chat if you can't hear me. I'm trying to get it together. You know, I had to hook up my equipment in Cleveland. This is a whole new thing right now. Okay, one's in the chat. That's a good thing. I'm trying to make sure my Facebook family is in here. We about to talk about Diddy, all the updates, tell you how I've been going on my first soft opening of the tour. It's been crazy. Your boy Flo had a crazy moment last night. I'm gonna tell y'all about that. You know, I tell y'all everything. Facebook should be in here. So before I get into the Diddy mess, let me cover my ass. No Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared at the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy Memorial Day, Monday. Just another manic Monday. Hey, Laura, we got Laura in the building. Waiting for some of our Facebook family to catch up. Oh, come on, I see some of the Facebook family. How y'all feeling today? You know I missed y'all. Okay, there go my Facebook family. Just liked it. So if you on Facebook, put a one in the comments to make sure you can hear me. Hey, Ebony. We got a lot of Diddy mess to catch up on. You know I missed y'all. Everybody else off today, but y'all put all them ones in my live last night saying y'all wanted me to go live today for the podcast. And you know, if enough of y'all ask, then I'm gonna get my ass off the fucking couch and do what I do. Hey, Yari, Laura, Tracy, Tinkle. Hey, Tinkle. Rachel, everybody, y'all come on in. Come on in. We about to talk about. I'm gonna get into the Diddy mess first. And then I'll give you let you know a little bit how my trip's been going, Flow on the go. It's been crazy as of everything I do. I like start controversy without even trying. I don't know how my boring self always in the middle of all kind of extra drama, but it is all good. So let's talk about first before we get into some of the kind of just like crazy stories surrounding Diddy. Let's get into what's going on in the trial first. Tomorrow, Capricorn Clark is set to testify. If you're watching me, Capricorn Clark is this young lady to my left, to y'all right. She was an assistant for the Diddler, aka Itty Bitty Diddy, aka Mohawk Diddy, aka the Mohawkster. She was an assistant for him from 2001, I believe, to 2011. And during that time, a lot of shit happened. And according to her, you know, and according to Suge Knight, a lot of it got swept under the rug because Interscope and Diddy coughed up a huge check. But one particular instant that may have Diddy in hot water, or at this point, fucking lava. Y'all know how hot lava is. Diddy might be in a little lava right now. Behind the Kid Cudi incident with blowing up the car. Now, I'm gonna tell you what the rumor is. The rumor is that she's gonna get on there on the stand tomorrow. She's the first witness set to testify. And I'm gonna tell you what the rumor is first, and then I'm gonna tell you what the court documents, the indictment and things like that say. So first, let's get into the rumors. The rumors is she's gonna get on the stand tomorrow and basically implicate that Diddy instructed her and Cassie to carry out this blowing up the car and all the, you know, when they went to Diddy Kid Cudi's house and rummaged through his stuff. And I had put together a lot of tea leaves and read a lot into it. And I'm gonna if y'all follow me on social media, y'all saw what my take on that is, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. or what I think happened, and we'll see during the testimony tomorrow. But she is going to testify, and that's supposed to be the twist that she's going to tell not only her part, but maybe Cassie's part, and Diddy, and who has been protecting Diddy, and a lot of that background stuff. Now, if you remember, I talked about Capricorn Clark probably, what was that, 2-3 weeks ago, before anybody mentioned her. I told y'all that I felt she would be testifying, and I also felt that she was going to tell some shit. And if you also recall, it's articles about how when she found out about Cudi and Cassie, Diddy beat the crap out of Capricorn Clark. So much so that Interscope and Diddy had to cut Capricorn Clark a huge check to keep it all silent. That was backed up by Suge Knight, who also spoke on that a long time ago, way even before I did. Actually, his co-signers what made me look into it further. But Suge Knight said himself that Interscope paid her off, and that's how they kept it quiet. And the reason why we know this is something to this story is she was his assistant. She was Diddy's assistant until like 2011, 2012-ish. That was exactly the time when the Kid Cudi and everything thing happened. And after the Kid Cudi blowing up car situation, Capricorn Clark was no longer working with Diddy. So we know something crazy happened at that time. There's no such thing as coincidences, not on a Flow Show, no filter. So we look into it all. So anyway, now let's get into what the court documents say and what Cudi's testimony. So the court documents state that this is the indictment, that the defendant, which is Sean Combs, held his co-conspirator at gunpoint and forced them to go over to Cudi's house. That's in the indictment. We now know that co-conspirator, 90% should be Capricorn Clark. If it's not her, she went along and he had somebody else at gunpoint. So either way, somebody was held at gunpoint and Capricorn Clark went with them and was forced to go. Now, right before this, Cassie had called Kid Cudi and said she was, in danger because Diddy was flipping out about finding out about them too. And Cassie had Kid Cudi come pick her up, and then they rolled off to somewhere off the radar to a hotel. Now, that's some of these things are the things that made me pick up on. I think it's a little more to this story. So pay attention. So now Kid Cudi and Cassie are together, and Diddy and Capricorn Clark and maybe somebody else, maybe not. I don't know. We have no confirmation. But they then proceeded to go to Cudi's house. But then Capricorn Clark, crying in tears, called Cudi. This is all through Cudi's testimony now. Capricorn Clark called Cudi to say, Diddy is near your home, whatever. Now for Cudi to say Capricorn Clark said that, if you put two and two together, according to the court documents, Capricorn Clark was there as well. So did Diddy have her at gunpoint, or did Diddy force her to call Kid Cudi to tell him, all right, now it's time to come to the residence because I want to meet up with you, because now Diddy has, mind you, removed all the cameras from Cudi's residence, rummaged through his stuff, and now it seems like right after all of that is when he had Capricorn Clark call Kid Cudi. Another thing, we know through Cassie's own testimony and Cudi's testimony that Cassie gave Diddy Cudi's address, even though she was supposedly not dealing with Diddy at that time. Why is that important? Well, if she would give him his Cudi's address, wouldn't Diddy have forced her to give him all the information, like where the cameras are? Because I'm pretty sure Diddy wouldn't have went there in the complete blind and tried to be looking for where all the cameras and where they at to unhook them and so on and so forth. Another thing, how would Diddy have known, which it seems like he knew, that the door would be unlocked? How would he know he wouldn't have to go there and break the door down or whatever? It seems like he knew a lot, and a lot of that information could have came from Cassie, and it could have been forced out, just like the address was forced out. Just like Diddy forced her to give him the address, Diddy could have also forced him to give him all that information. And the last thing that we got in the testimony that makes this whole Kid Cudi blowing up situation kind of eerie and lets us know it's something more to it. How about when Brian Steele asked Cudi, did he know that women or a woman's DNA was found at the scene of the crime, which was blowing up the Porsche? When that question was asked, my antenna went up because I said, oh, wow, so a woman allegedly did it. Interesting. But what made it even more interesting was when Cudi said he didn't know that. So that tells me two things. First of all, how did law enforcement or whoever picked up on the DNA, how did they not give that information to Cudi? We know Diddy has had ties with law enforcement and things of that nature. So it doesn't make sense that Cudi wouldn't have known, not even by law enforcement or not even from Cassie. Because I'm sure Cassie and Capricorn Clark, they would have had to know that information if Diddy knows that information. And especially if they were involved. So that, and we also know that Cassie and Cudi kept some sort of relationship over the years. They weren't cool as they were before all of this happened, but they maintained some sort of relationship. So how did Kid Cudi, how was he not aware of any of that? So when you put all that together, if Capricorn Clark goes on the stand and lays this out, this story right here is enough for RICO, racketeering. And I'm going to tell you why. You only need 2 instances or acts that fall under the RICO Act and within a 10-year period. There's so many that we've talked about with Diddy already, but we're just talking about the Cudi incident, and there's 2 here. There's the gunpoint and the forcing Capricorn Clark at gunpoint to go to the Cudi address. That's kidnapping. That's one act that covers a RICO, which is using an enterprise or a group, a structured group to carry out crimes. That's basically what RICO is. It don't have to be the biggest crimes in the world. It just has to fall under these acts. So we got kidnapping already. We know we got extortion, possibly from Cassie's mom when Diddy forced her, told her if she didn't send $20,000, he was going to put the freak off tape out. We all know that's extortion, but we're not talking about that. We really just focusing on the Cudi incident because now we got kidnapping. And then another act that falls under RICO is arson. So just in this situation right now, arson, of course, would be blowing up the Porsche truck, Cudi's truck. So just in this incident alone, we have kidnapping and arson that are pretty much proven and can be proven. And if Capricorn Clark gets on the stand tomorrow morning and says what we all think she is going to say, this could be super damaging. Yep, like Tracy said it weeks ago, he's got more than 6. Yeah, he has a boatload No, I don't say boatload. This is the Flow Show, no filter. He has a shitload of RICO acts. And if we're just talking about 2 in this mini story, imagine. See, a lot of people don't understand RICO. They think RICO is running around killing million people and flying in dope from Colombia and doing all of this like what you see in the movies. RICO is simply. Oh, and I put my Cash App and my Apple Pay in the chat. If you wanna take care of me for coming in on my holiday, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm trying to get to New York this week, so that would help too. So if you wanna send something direct through Cash App or Apple Pay, you can either see it in the highlighted tab in orange on the screen, or you can look in the chat. I know y'all gonna take care of me for coming in on my off day. When everybody else is home chilling, I'm on my off day bringing you this news, and it's a full show. I'm not taking, I don't take no slack. I don't cut no slack when I get on this microphone. Anyway, people think what they see in the movie as a RICO is RICO, and so that's why a lot of people who are saying it ain't no case. Now I will tell you honestly, I went through all of what we have done so far, and although the sex trafficking to most of us is obvious that it's sex trafficking, as far as a court of law and according to the jury and what they have to go by, sex trafficking is not, as far as right now at the 2-week point, is not as clear cut as RICO is in this case. Like, meaning they've proven sex trafficking, but I can honestly say there could be some type of reasonable doubt in some of the jury's minds as of right now. Remember, we're only 2 weeks in. The prosecution don't. Thank you, Laura, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. That's great. I really appreciate it for taking care of me, for coming in on a holiday. I love y'all, but I also love my holidays. And so, but what people don't realize is, first of all, like I said, the prosecution doesn't put on their best evidence until towards the end. Any good lawyer will tell you that, because you don't want to, in a sense, in this freaky, I can't even say everything I want to say because this trial is so freaky, but you don't want to shoot your load all in the beginning, and then by the time you get to the end of the trial, a lot of the good parts the jury has kind of forgot about, and then all they tend to remember is what happens in the last half or the second half. And I'm saying that because, so as of right now, even though many of us see sex trafficking and that should be open and shut, I could see why a jury could, right now at this point, why a few jurors could figure out a reasonable doubt. But that doesn't even matter, because the bigger charge, which carries the most time, is RICO. Diddy could, in a sense, beat the sex trafficking part for whatever reason. Let's just use this as an example. He could beat the sex trafficking. They get him on the RICO, he's still 25 years to life. More than likely closer to life. And so the reason why I'm saying that is because people, I could give them a little bit of leeway on that. Hey, sex trafficking hasn't been all the way proven yet. Maybe. If I'm on the jury, I see sex trafficking, but I can see why some might not at this point. But it is undeniable that it's RICO. It's undeniable. And RICO carries the most time. And RICO, he's under RICO conspiracy charges. And so for the people that are saying this ain't nothing but hearsay, when you say that statement alone, lets me know you don't understand RICO conspiracy. Conspiracy is fucking hearsay. But the hearsay has to come from your employees who you had doing the illegal act under this criminal enterprise, which is why 99% of the RICOs, the individual is brought down by their employees or by their co-conspirators. See, a statement somebody can make lets me know if they know RICO or not. So when they say this is all hearsay, I don't see any real evidence, you don't understand conspiracy. That is why a lot of people feel like conspiracy isn't a fair law. Because let's say I had a business and I was able to keep my hands clean, but I had like 3 workers. Thank you, Melissa, for taking care of me on my day off. For the super sticker, $4.99. Everybody, shout out Melissa. Melissa, I love you. The conspiracy. If I had a criminal operation, if let's say Flow Show No Filter was doing criminal things, then and I had, let's say, 3 or 4 workers or employees that they supposed to be doing Flow Show No Filter stuff, but I got them kidnapping and helping me rob people and giving people controlled substances. All of that is under RICO. Now, of course, I'm the boss. I'm going to keep my hands clean. So it's not going to be hardcore evidence because I got my employees doing everything. Well, if the feds came after me for RICO or even the state, if those 3 employees get on the stand and say I made them do it, I'm done. I'm done. It's not about hard evidence when you're talking about RICO, because that's the whole point of RICO. I'm going to say it again. RICO came because the mafia bosses were keeping their hands clean and having all their workers do shit. They couldn't get any evidence on the bosses. So they came up with this RICO thing, which means we don't have to have no hardcore evidence that the boss did X, Y, and Z. We just need evidence that the boss participated and called the shots. And for those that know, swearing and testimony under oath is evidence. They're not saying this shit in the barbershop. They're not saying this in the beauty shop or at your local pub. They are telling this information about Diddy under sworn oath in a court of law. That is evidence. So again, to everybody out there, I'm sure the Flow Show No Filter, all y'all get it. Our community gets it. And thank you. I just missed somebody. Who is that just did a super who just gave me a super? Okay. Laura Kiffin, thank you for the super chat. My machine is acting a little funky right now, so I'm trying to put you. There you go. Hold on. Hey, can I get you up there? Come on, laptop. There we go. Oh no, that's Melissa. But yeah, so yeah, TMZ. Hey, look, and since we brought up TMZ, let me poke another to show you how obvious it is, because they're working with Mark Garagos. They have a podcast with him and their team, Diddy. It's no surprise. But one of my listeners, or a few of my listeners, hit me up and said, Harvey said, this not arson, this just a jealous boyfriend. Blowing up Kid Cudi's car is not arson, it's just rage from a jealous boyfriend. If tell me you're Team Diddy and trying to find any way without telling me you're Team Diddy. I know you got a podcast with Mark Garagos, who is basically the silent lead attorney on Diddy's defense team, but his daughter is technically the lead attorney. And if we all know, Mark Garagos has been a longtime friend and attorney who has told the line and did a lot of mysterious things to help Diddy out. So let's get out now that we clear that up. So according to Harv, if this is not arson and this is just a boyfriend, a jealous boyfriend, then we might as well empty out all the prisons. Half the people in prison, or half the domestic situations, are from jealous boyfriends or even girlfriends. But right now we're talking about boyfriends because we're talking about Diddy. Being a jealous boyfriend has never been a defense. If that's a defense, how many jealous boyfriends will be walking the streets right now instead of being behind bars? I was the last one to believe, because I give people the benefit of the doubt. By the time I'm calling somebody out, they deserve it. Because even people didn't even like me even going on. I'm not going to say a lot of people, but there were some people like, man, don't trust TMZ. Don't go on there. But see, my thing was this. I'm always going to spread my message. And so as long as you're not telling me what the fuck to say, I'll come on your show. Because I'm going to say my message and I'm going to big up my community. So when I go somewhere, I show up as me and I represent us. I don't give a damn about whose show it is because they're not going to tell me what I can and can't say. So, but I still understood people that said that. And so I was giving TMZ the benefit of the doubt for a long time. But this Diddy trial just showed me I can't never fuck with TMZ. I'm so disgusted by Harv with these blatant misinforming takes. To say that that's not arson, that's just a jealous boyfriend, you gonna say that out your mouth? What are we doing here? What do we have laws for if because you have money, you can blow up somebody's car and it's just because you're a jealous boyfriend? So what? That doesn't mean no accountability because he's jealous, he gets to just blow up people's cars? I lost all respect for TMZ, and I don't care who feels a way about it. I can't help it. I can't lie. When I turn this microphone on or when I'm talking in general, I'm going to tell you the truth. If you can't handle the truth, you will be offended by me. But what I won't do, I won't disrespect you. I won't call you out of your name. I won't threaten you. But I will tell you exactly what my true feelings about whatever is going on. If you say something to me and you trying to talk about me or discredit me, I'm not going to disrespect you, but I will tell you my truthful opinion. And sometimes my truthful opinion would be, I would rather you not watch my content, so kick rocks. See, I never kissed ass. This is not an ass kissing zone. I don't expect my community to kiss nobody's ass, and I ain't kissing nobody's ass. And I've been like that when I had 1 follower, and now that I got almost 500,000 followers, I've never changed. When I had 1 follower, I tell people to kick rocks. If you don't like what I'm doing, kick rocks. I'm not begging nobody to watch my content or anything. I love and appreciate everybody, but I'm not letting anybody bully me into anything. So, and I don't expect anybody in my community to. We are a strong community. We are a mighty community. We are growing. We may not even be as big as a lot of these other communities, but we are stronger than every last one of these communities because our community is built on love. And when you come in this door, we ain't down in no particular group. We not down in no particular nobody, no races, all that. Check that at the door. We in here. We got black, brown, white, Chinese people, Uber drivers, scientists, doctors, Brazilian people, Belgium. We got some of everybody in this community. So what's not going to ever happen is anybody down in any group. That don't fly here. So anyway, people don't understand RICO, and it's just sad what TMZ is doing, but lucky y'all got me. Because that's another thing. People scared to speak up on TMZ. I don't know why, but I'm going to be honest. Anybody got a problem with that? I only got to tell you what they got to do. But it's been sad because I give people the benefit of the doubt. I didn't want to be on here screaming about TMZ ain't shit. But with this Diddy coverage, and then when Harv said it's not arson, it's just a jealous boyfriend, I said, oh my God. And then when they don't, so I'm gonna pull up. I might do another deep dive on TMZ because I want to pull up what Harv said about the R. Kelly trial and his RICO. And R. Kelly's RICO, his RICO is way less acts than Diddy's. It wasn't even about kidnapping and violence and shit. R. Kelly's RICO was just bribing and using money to and using his influence to do the illegal stuff with women. Diddy has that, and I'll raise you arson, kidnapping, extortion, and all kind of crap. So how can R. Kelly's be RICO in the same court in New York, 2021? You mean to tell me R. Kelly's was RICO, but Diddy's ain't RICO? So I'm gonna have to pull up Harv's comments on the R. Kelly RICO, and I hope they fall in line with what he's saying about Diddy's RICO. And if they're not, he gonna have problems because I'm about to make a video about it. But off the top of my head, I bet you Harv didn't say that was just a jealous boyfriend. I bet you Harv didn't say this RICO is weak. But I will let y'all know after I look it up. I will let y'all know exactly what was said and what I think about it. Now, I have dropped a couple bombs this weekend. Everybody been asking about exactly people trying to tell the truth are either getting bought or threatened. Because like I said, yep, TMZ is another catch and kill source. Yep. Because like I said, we have a great comparison. We got a celebrity who was found under RICO. And let me be honest. When they initially charged R. Kelly with RICO, I was like the rest of these idiots. I said, R. Kelly, this ain't no RICO. When this first started. But guess what the difference between me and the rest of these knuckleheads? For one, I didn't say that out loud. Two, I went and researched it first. And once because I was thinking the same thing. I thought RICO was, Pablo Escobar, Frank Lucas type stuff. I didn't know, I didn't know how simple RICO could be when you're using when you're operating a criminal business and you're using your employees to do illegal stuff. RICO is not that. It's very simple. And so once I did my research, I would tell people during the R. Kelly thing, R. Kelly going down. Not because I don't wish nobody to go down. I wish if somebody needs to be held accountable, they held accountable. That's all I wish. I'm not sitting up here gonna take joy in anybody's downfall. They need to be held accountable, then hold them accountable. But I'm not one of those people that it makes my day because somebody else fall on their face. So when I wasn't saying that R. Kelly was going down just because I was rooting for him to go down. Once I looked up what RICO is, and I looked up what R. Kelly did and the evidence they had, it was RICO. But just like this Diddy situation, people told me then I was crazy and ain't nothing gonna happen to R. Kelly. He make too much money for the people and blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, he got 30 years. Next thing I know, R. Kelly got 30 years. So here we go again. I'm in the same boat with this Diddy stuff. I am not rooting for Diddy to go down. Not like no matter what happened, no matter what was proven, no matter how the case go, I'm just rooting for him to go down. I think what he did is disgusting. And in my personal opinion, from what I know, he should rot. But like I tell y'all, I'm not a judge. I'm not on the jury. I'm only seeing and dealing with the evidence that I have before me, and I'm not getting specific instructions from the judge on how to do this and how to apply that. That ain't my job. My job is to give y'all the facts that I find and give y'all my take on them, and that's what I'm doing. But this is just like the R. Kelly, where I feel like the same thing. These people who now I'm not talking about the people that are bought and paid for it because they have an agenda. I'm talking about the general public, the people who think this case is weak or think they haven't seen any RICO. I'm talking to them because you just don't know what RICO is. If you really just took the time and Google what conspiracy RICO is and what it takes to prove it, you will understand why Diddy is toast. Because it's not the concrete evidence that y'all looking for. Y'all damn near looking for a video of Diddy doing all this. Y'all looking for a video of Diddy with a gun point to Capricorn head as they drive over the Cuddy house and camera footage of him doing that. That's not what it takes to get nobody on Conspiracy RICO. Conspiracy RICO is just about people who work for you all coming together and saying under oath that you made them do X, Y, and Z. You made them purchase drugs. You made them blow up Kid Cudi's car. You made them send over money, or you were gonna send freak off tapes. That's extortion. Just them saying that, your ass is in hot water for RICO. Plain as day. I bet you TMZ wouldn't have me on here to debate Harvey because they know I would chew his ass up. And don't nobody want to come on here and debate me. One thing about it, you ain't going to hear too many people call my name, because whether they like me or don't like me, they know I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and they know I do my homework, and they know I can convey it in a snap of a finger. My brain, when it comes to debating and going back and forth, my brain works very, very fast, extremely fast. So I always welcome somebody to come on the show or bring me on the show to debate the facts. Forget all these little comment shit. Live in real time, I will chew their ass up and spit their ass out like a piece of gum. Notice you don't hear nobody calling me out no more. Stevie J took his ass on, Rich Dollars took his ass on, and whoever else might have thought. Because when you listen to me and you see my receipts and you see how I present, you know I might as well not fuck with him. Let me go fuck with some other, but because I ain't the one. I prepare my ass off. I'm very diligent and I'm very bright when it comes to breaking this shit down. So I am more than comfortable to go on anybody's show or anybody to come on this show and come with them raggedy arson. This is a jealous boyfriend, not arson, or this ain't RICO, because I'm ready for your ass. One thing about my community, we gonna have the real facts and we gonna have the real takes. We ain't gotta depend on TMZ or any of the rest of these bought and paid for bloggers. I heard I can't confirm this, but one of my listeners told me that Tisa Tales, y'all know I love Tisa Tales and Ticket TV. Those are the only two sources that I even look at on YouTube. But somebody told me that Tisa Tales, now don't quote me because this is one of my listeners said, but I believe her. She said that Tisa Tales said she saw Diddy's publicist meeting with, I don't know if it was the Shade Room or TMZ, meeting with some big media outlets, like in a cafeteria. Like I said, I didn't hear that from myself. Just one of my listeners told me that Tisa Tales said that. But this listener is somebody who is following the show for a long time, and I don't think she would make that up. So I don't doubt it. But it just showed you, people could be bought. See, I can't be bought. I don't care. But the feeling, if somebody paid for me to say what they want me to say, I would feel like I couldn't even do it. Like, I don't have that kind of phoniness in my body. And over the years, because I don't have no phoniness and I don't have a phony bone in my body, I missed out on a lot of opportunities because I can't just fucking go with the program. But the good thing about life, if you just stand 10 toes and be who you are, your crowd will find you. And it just so happened I'm in a space right now where the crowd and the public appreciates somebody who can't be bought and who just says exactly what's on their mind and on their heart. And I love it. And I love y'all for it, because that's the only way I know how to be. So many times in my life, if I would have just went with the program, matter of fact, in my rapping days, when I was dealing with Floyd Mayweather and Interscope and Sylvia Rome and everybody loved me. But I didn't want to go with the program, and eventually they all went cold to me. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. But it didn't even bother me, because if somebody's mad at me for having a belief and standing on it, then fuck you. it was funny. I always tell y'all, my friends, when I left the industry, you know, I was touring, I was on magazine covers, I was doing my thing, especially to the outside world. They would always say, "Do you ever regret leaving?" And I was like, I would always answer it emphatically, like, hell no. Like I really didn't. Anybody don't accept me for who I am and what I believe. I don't give a damn about being around you. I don't care who you are. So I appreciate y'all as a community for being behind me and appreciating somebody who don't give a damn about clout, don't give a damn about money to the point where you can give me enough money and then I'm gonna come on here and say, "Hey y'all, this ain't RICO at all. Diddy ain't do none of this. This case is he had the prosecution has no case, all because they done paid me some money." No way. Never, never. Even when brands reach out to me, I let them know the one thing that's non-negotiable is my content will never change. So don't even ask to support this show or do any type of sponsorship if you're gonna say anything about my content or what I need to talk about. Because that's my number one thing. If I can't speak freely, then I won't turn this microphone on no more. And that goes for not just brands, that goes for also my community. If it ever gets to a point where my community don't want to hear what I gotta say, I'm not changing my tone. So I will cut this mic off and be fishing the rest of my life before I come on here saying stuff just to please people. So anyway, now that I took a dump on TMZ, I'm done with TMZ right now. Let's go into another crazy story. Remember, y'all was all talking about what happened to Farnsworth Bentley? We hadn't heard nothing from him. If you don't know the story, Farnsworth Bentley was a guy who was an assistant for Diddy for a while. And he used to hold the umbrella for Diddy. Even then, we all thought that was weird. A man got another man that he just met, and he's walking around, and he got a nigga holding an umbrella for him. I don't know about that. So, but it got to the point where Farnsworth had rolled off into the sunset, abruptly left Diddy, and had a wife and kids, and it seemed like he was living his best life, but we hadn't heard from him. But it's I usually don't deal with media takeout, but this is, y'all know, I already went through the official lawsuit. It's public record. So I already verified what they're saying, but just to give them credit because they actually have an article on it. As media takeout says, Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley accused of raping man and kids. So Farnsworth Bentley has entered the chat, and I'm telling you, I don't know if they're going to call him because they didn't mention his name in the jury questionnaire. So by him being such a name that everybody know, I don't think they're going to call him. But hey, look, I got to tell you, I don't know. I'm not the prosecution. But anyway, this is what Farnsworth Bentley got going on. So Sean Diddy Combs and longtime associate Farnsworth Bentley are at the center of a newly filed civil lawsuit in Georgia. These allegations are stemming from incidents that reportedly occurred more than 2 decades ago. The lawsuit filed in Fulton County on Friday, May 23rd by an Atlanta man now in his 40s outlines serious claims of misconduct involving both Combs and Farnsworth Bentley. This is dating back to 2003. According to the court documents, the plaintiff was working with a local talent agency and at the time alleges that he was approached by Farnsworth Bentley regarding potential opportunities with the Sean John fashion brand. The plaintiff claims that he was led to believe he would be helping identify talent for upcoming campaigns and events related to Sean John. As part of that engagement, he says he was encouraged to bring individuals, which included 2 youngins. When we say youngins, we mean under the age of 18. He was instructed to bring 2 of them to an event he believed was just related to the fashion and entertainment. But what followed was some crazy shit. The lawsuit claims there was a series of events that the plaintiff alleges led to the exploitation, trauma, and long-lasting emotional stress. He also alleges that he was personally victimized during that time he worked alongside Combs and his inner circle. So basically, that's the article. And then, I read the actual lawsuit, so I'm going to fill in a couple blanks. He was at the event, and he was approached by Bentley. Bentley say, hey, we need a couple females. Can you provide for them, for us? Guy agreed. So they met or either was driven to a department store called Rich's Department Store. Rich's Department Store. You ever heard of Rich's Department Store, Cash, in Atlanta? You heard of it? Okay, so yeah, it was at Rich's. So my boy Cash, he be in Atlanta all the time. He just confirmed Rich's Department Store. He heard of it. Anyway, he thought they were just having an event there for the fashion. So he brought the two minors with him. Now, when they left, once they were done at the Rich's Department store, the plaintiff alleges that they were bussed or transported to the hotel. And that's where the freaky after party went on. At this freaky after party, they were given pills and drinks and this and that. One thing led to another, and he says him and the two youngins were assaulted by Diddy, Mr. Bentley, and whoever else was in there. This story is still developing, but for those asking where is Farnsworth Bentley, he has officially entered into the chat because he has a lawsuit now involving some serious accusations with Mr. Mohawk. So I'll definitely keep you abreast to that situation as we get more updates. I'll let you know what's going on with Mr. Bentley and Diddy, but we got another past Diddy victim that used to be his artist. And a lot of y'all have hit me up about this, which is why I want to talk about it today. And I'm talking about Q of Day 26. If you remember, Day 26 was one of Diddy's reality TV shows. It was a group of R&B singing men. And ever since all this have come out, Day 26 has been sitting on everybody's couch crying. I ain't never seen one man have so many grown men crying. The Mohawkster has done it again. So this comes from Baller Alert. Title of the article is Q of Day 26 says he believes Diddy tried to sacrifice him during an odd outing in the Hamptons. So according to this guy, freaky itty bitty Diddy, Mr. Tootsie Roll Diddy himself has done it again. Let's get into this article. Let's dive in. No Diddy. As Diddy's legal saga unfolds, more stories are surfacing from those who once moved in his circle. This story comes from Q, known from the MTV's Making the Band as a member of the R&B group Day 26 that Diddy put together with MTV. He recently opened up about a chilling experience he had with Tootsie Roll Diddy. Speaking on a podcast with TJ Holmes, Aubrey O'Day, and Amy Robach, Q detailed an overnight trip to the Hamptons that left him emotionally scarred. I told y'all know I don't even, I just skim these articles. I don't really go into them until I read them with y'all, so y'all can get my honest opinion. And just this sentence right here, where he says he was invited to an overnight trip in the Hamptons with Diddy that left him emotionally scarred. I don't even want to fucking know. But it wouldn't be the Flow Show No Filter if I stopped there. He goes on to say, Puffy invited me. Q began, adding that Diddy seemed very, very high and unusually friendly. So according to what we've reading so far, Diddy was probably high on drugs and cocaine, whatever had him, he was in a freaky mood, and he was probably being touchy-feely on Q, but who knows? Let's continue and see what the hell happened. Q admitted he thought the invite only came because he was dating Danity Kane's Dawn Richard. I hear people say both names, so I'm not even sure which one it is. But let's just say Dawn, because he was dating Dawn at the time, who ironically recently testified against Diddy. Once at the estate, Q says Richard handed him a red ecstasy pill that she said was from Diddy. The singer took it, and 20 minutes later, he allegedly blacked out. What happened next is a disturbing memory for Q. According to him, he woke up screaming in the bedroom of Diddy's twin daughters. Now, the girls were not present. He was just in that room, and Q claims there were cameras on him and people standing around laughing. But he didn't know what was funny. So you take a pill, you black out, you end up in a room by yourself, or not by yourself, but you're the only one on the bed or whatever, and you see cameras on you, you wake up and people just laughing. Now, we were talking about innocent dudes who just partying. They might did what we used to do, put some hot sauce on his mouth and put some Doritos in his mouth. When you fall asleep first, when we was having a sleepover, we would just put lotion on your head and your ears, just all type of crazy shit. And you would wake up like, what the fuck? And now everybody be laughing. But we talking about the diddler here. That's too innocent for him. So if you wake up and you at a party with the diddler and everybody standing around with a camera and laughing, you don't know what the hell just happened to you. You checking all the holes on your body. Like, what the fuck? So this what happened to Q. So article goes on to say, it felt very sacrificial. He said, like they were trying to hurt me, or Diddy was trying to maybe sacrifice me that night. He also recalled wearing basketball shorts, jumping into a pool, and believes the moment was captured on film. Diddy's team has not spoken out about Q's story. Day 26 been crying for about a few months at this point now. I don't know what Diddy did to them boys, but I know I just don't see them sitting around crying in front of the world for no reason. And with all the horrific stories we've heard about the diddler, it isn't far-fetched to think something crazy happened with the Day 26 people. Like I said, that's another story that's been developing. I will keep you in the loop about that. But then I have a story about what's going on with Diddy today from People Magazine, detailing what Diddy is doing today. You're going to want to hear that. But real quick, I just got to thank the subscribers who make this happen, make this shake, keep the lights on, keep the truth alive. If you want your shout out, please subscribe today. The link is in the notes on your Facebook page, and also in your on your notes if you're listening to this on Apple and Spotify. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's shout out to people today who have already done the deed of keeping this podcast alive. Let me get to him. Angie B, thank you for subscribing. Everybody shout out Angie B in the comments. We appreciate it. Bree Shannon, $3. Both of these young ladies gave a $3 donation and signed up for a $3 subscription. So we love you here at the Flow Show. Also, Sine Wokebone 47. Sine gave a $4 subscription. Wokebone 47, $3 subscription. Elizabeth Ruiz, $3 subscription. Thanks to all of y'all for supporting your dog, Flo. I've been here. I've been partying so much. I had to they had to I fell asleep, passed out in the club last night. They had to carry me out of there. I ain't partied 3 days in a row, 3 nights in a row, probably since 2004. Probably when I was running around with Floyd was the last time I partied 3 nights in a row. So I'm done. I had my party and I've been working for 2 years straight. I haven't did any late night partying in 2 years. So I feel good to get that out of my system. It was a great time with all my family and friends. The club I was at was a friend of mine that we have been friends since we were both 19 years old. We talking about damn near 3 decades, let's say 2.5 decades. We have been friends and supporting each other. So I was comfortable there, and I was so comfortable. I was too comfortable. I was tired. Shit, I tell people I'm not a late person. I got to get like 2 or 3 naps if I'm gonna kick it all day. And I couldn't nap yesterday because I had a couple meet and greets and stuff like that. So it was a great time. I've been enjoying myself in Cleveland. Cleveland has been showing me so much love. It's overwhelming. I'm just so happy. My son, we enjoy his 18th birthday. Looking forward to his graduation this weekend. But other than that, y'all, it's just been a blessing. And my son is up. I'm gonna get to the Diddy Memorial Day news real quick. But my son is a man of very few words, and he asked me. I couldn't believe he asked me this. He said we were just riding. I'm riding with him. You know, my son got his black Benz that he went half in, and we bought him his first car. He's had that car for a while now. He just turned 18, so must have had it about a year and a half or something like that, or close to it. But it might be a year. I don't know. But shit, he was riding me around, y'all. It felt crazy. That's my son driving me around. So he just out of nowhere he said, Dad, so how does it feel? And I was like, what? To have all the fans and everybody knows you and all of that. And like I said, my son is very few words. And for him to even ask me that was like, wow, okay. But I told him, I said, it feels great. But I told him the best part about it is this is all just due to me being myself. I told him the difference was I had fans nowhere near to this level, but I had fans when I was doing my music stuff with Floyd. But they were fans of H Flow the rapper. H Flow the rapper is not Flow. Flow is just me. And so that was cool, but it was still like I felt like a character. I don't like feeling like a character. I like to be me. And I like people, if you dealing with me, I like you to deal with me, not a character. And so I told my son the beauty of it all and what makes it really feel awesome is my community. We all feel like friends who just hadn't met yet. And so when I do run into my fans in the street and they do want to take pictures of me, it feels so good. And it doesn't really feel like the typical fan celebrity relationship. It's like friends who we just hadn't met yet. And then once we meet, it's like it's so comfortable and I can't describe it, but it makes it beautiful. I'm not a character. This is who I am 24/7. And y'all are fans of that, which makes us, like I said, friends. So I told my son that, and he was shaking his head and smiling and understood. He's a very smart guy. And that's why I told him that is the best part about it. I don't have to keep up no image. I don't have to lie about whatever. I can tell y'all whatever it is, I can tell y'all because I'm not up here trying to be something I'm not. I'm just a human being who like to talk about current events and investigate and help victims and amplify good messages and provide a community that we all can feel safe at, we all can feel accepted at. And y'all know me being the leader of this community, I'm not letting anybody feel like they're not accepted in this community as long as we all respecting each other. I don't care where you come from or what you look like. You're going to be respected and valued and appreciated as long as when it comes to the Flow Show community. So I just want to thank everybody for that. Also, I'm going to have y'all on deck. I'm putting the New York thing together with my son's graduation. I'm trying to coordinate it. I'm really trying to get out there this week. His graduation is Saturday, so I don't know if I'm I'll know by the night if I'm gonna be able to go to this week or I'm gonna have to come right after you graduate and come Monday. But I am shooting for this week for the trial, New York trial. So I'll keep y'all on deck while I'm out there. New York costs an arm and a leg. If y'all can Cash App and Apple pay me to keep me out there, I will be out there. Boots on the ground in New York. I am so excited just to because we've been looking at these sketches. I want to see what the hell they got. They got Diddy looking like Abraham Lincoln. Two things. I want to verify that Diddy is even in there in the courtroom, and I want to see what he really looked like because these sketches can't be correct. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me get to the Diddy news. And like I said, I was telling my boy Cash, he's out here with me. We've been friends for 20 years. And he's a good guy. And we've been holding each other down throughout our whole lives of all the different ventures we've tried. And I was telling Cash the same thing, like, you love what you do when you'll come in on your off day, when I never missed a day. Even on Friday, I just did my Friday episode Thursday night. Y'all know I did 2 episodes Thursday. I did one in the morning and I did the one at night was for Friday. So, I don't miss days, but I do take weekends and holidays off because I don't want to burn myself out because I will burn. Like last night when I burned myself, I should have sat my ass down and ended up fucking falling asleep in the club. So to not burn myself out, I make sure I take weekends and holidays off. But since it's the Diddy trial and I hadn't, even though I did do a Friday episode, I dropped it on Thursday. So technically I went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday without an episode. I was like, they want me to do it. I'm going to do it. So I told them, you love what you do when you don't mind coming in on your day off and you look forward to it. I had to hook up all this equipment and everything. Look at this. Let's see if I can show y'all. Oh, no, I can't show y'all. But I had to hook it up and all that. And I ain't the best like at hooking shit up either. That's not one of my strong suits. So like when it's hooked up, I like to leave it alone and don't touch it. That way I know it's working. So anyway, let's get back to this Diddy news. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Y'all so supportive. There's no way if I can turn this mic on and come in here and give y'all a show, I love to do it. So thank you for the encouragement. And let's get into this final little, what the hell is Diddy doing on Memorial Day? This is People Magazine, just so y'all know what Diddy doing. Here's what Sean Diddy Combs will be eating and doing on Memorial Day in jail amid his criminal trial. So it says, as Sean Diddy Combs' trial goes on a brief break, the New York courthouse also is on a break. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be playing spades, card games, dominoes, and having 3-on-3 basketball tournaments and a soccer tournament that Diddy might be or might not be down for. According to a prison menu obtained by People Magazine, Combs and the other inmates in MDC will eat a normal rotating Monday meal, which consists of fruit, cereal, skim milk, and breakfast cake to start their day. Sounds gross. Sounds really gross. Breakfast cake. When a prison say breakfast cake, and it's like you don't know what the fuck kind of cake or what it is, you can bet your bottom dollar it is non-stop nastiness with every chew. And for lunch, Combs will have the choice of barbecue chicken, kidney beans, macaroni and cheese, mixed vegetables, whole wheat bread, fruit, and a holiday dessert and a beverage. Now, let me give y'all some context. Every time People Magazine put out this, and they just pulling the menu from their site, but every time I go into this food, people that have people in MDC, now this could be different for Diddy, but people who have people in MDC be like, look, don't believe that food. They giving them what you call it, eggs and water and bread. They say they don't feed them shit. So I'm just telling you what the article say, but I'm also going to tell you what people have DM'd me about the menu. Now, dinner, they're saying, will consist of options including chicken, tofu, rice, pinto beans, canned corn, whole wheat bread, and a drink. Nasty, 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 nasty. After the rapper's initial arrest, uh, they are saying, they claiming Diddy is not receiving any special treatment, and he is having to eat all of this hot garbage that they speaking of. They say he's been treated like every other detainee, a source says. And they say that's how they do all the public figures. So that's what Diddy's eating. That's what Diddy's doing. I thank everybody who popped in with me for this holiday episode. You know, I don't never mind coming in here and talking to my folks. Matter of fact, 3 days I missed y'all. That's a long time. Hopefully we don't go 3 days without hearing or seeing each other again. Shout out Vima, Lucida, Jen, hey Tracy, Gina, Carl, Lorene, Carol, Teresa, Joe, Jonathan. What's up, my boy Toby? Toby One, Kenobi, Russell, Joe, Portia, Alexandra, Melissa, Monique. Hey, how could I have missed you? Thank you for the $10 super sticker. Missed you, Monique. Been 3 days, but I'm glad you came in here. And Monique always take good care of the Flowster. They should have never gave Diddy a mohawk, should they? Some people can't handle mohawks. Diddy is already a mohawk. Like him in general is just, he's already a mohawk. You don't need to give a mohawk a mohawk. It's like pouring gas on a flame. So we probably should bring in Diddy's barber on some charges for aiding him in getting a mohawk or giving him a mohawk. Joanne, Gian, Gloria again. Yeah, Gian said we missed you, and I missed y'all too. Much love to all of y'all. If y'all missed me, tell me in the comments. Don't be shy, because I want to hear it. I want to read it. I want to read that y'all missed me, because I missed y'all. Love y'all. And other than that, I will update y'all on New York. Cash, we trying to get out here tomorrow, ain't we? So we trying to get out here tomorrow for the New York, y'all. But I will keep y'all updated. I'm excited about going. I got Cash. Y'all worried about me? Cash got my back. Cash, you got my back, right? Tell him I ain't got to worry about me. You from New York? See? Yeah. See, Cash said we good. We got the Muslim security over there in New York. We ain't got nothing to worry about, y'all. So you know your boy gonna be safe. And me and Cash been doing this for a long time. We know how to move around and be safe. But I just want y'all to hear it out of Cash mouth. No Diddy. He in Cleveland with me. He ain't letting me go nowhere. Yesterday when I went on live with y'all, I had walked out of the little lounge because they was playing music. And, you know, I can't go live with the music playing. So I walked out. And as soon as I went on live with y'all, Cash was FaceTiming me and kicked me off the live. Like, where you at? I said, man, I'm on live. I'm right outside. So Cash, that's my bro. He gonna always watch my back, and he ain't letting me go to New York without him. So missed you too, Laura. Definitely. Always miss my Laura, my Monique, my Bo, my Megan, and all the rest of y'all. Let y'all be safe. I got a post coming on the today. I'll probably be talking about the day 26 thing, and then any updates on New York, I will let y'all know. So as always, I love y'all, but I'm out.